So it's February 10th, Friday, 2012, and we're talking right now to Yael Chanoff, who is a reporter for the San Francisco Bay Guardian. And she ended up in Santa Rita jail after being kettled. Yes, outside the Y. Did it happen to you outside the Y? And wrote about her experience in the jail. And I asked her if she'd tell us a little bit about what happened to her in there.
Sure, yeah. Well, so I think the reason that I was held overnight, unlike some of the other journalists, there were 6 arrested total, is because I'm a new hire, so I didn't have my official police press pass yet. So even though my editor was calling all night, telling them that, you know, to release me because I was a journalist, they didn't really care. So I was there for like 20 hours, and I was in a cell. I got moved around many times, but I was in a cell mostly with the same 19 women throughout Santa Rita. And you know, some of the stuff I wrote about was there was people in my cell who were denied access to their medication and were starting to feel really ill by the end of the time I left.
And you saw this yourself?
Yeah. I also got so many reports, but I'm just talking now about what I saw. There was one person who told the guards that she was allergic to the food that was provided, which is like a bologna sandwich and orange and like Tang, basically, calcium drink. And so she told them she was allergic to it, and she couldn't eat it. And they said, "We don't care," you know, basically. And she said, "Can I have a peanut butter sandwich instead?" And they said, "Sorry, we don't really have any, or we'll look," but they didn't find any. So I spoke later to the Alameda County Sheriff's Public Information Officer, and he told me that anyone who needs substitute food is provided with peanut butter sandwiches. So that wasn't her experience.
And that was you spoke to him after you were out, right?
Right. That was, you know, the next week when I was calling him as a journalist.
Did you see her get ill from this?
I saw her, you know, looking like she was in pain, sitting in the cell. That's the extent to which I saw her illness.
Did she eat anything?
No.
She didn't.
I think she might have eaten one orange, but she also had gastric, what's it called?
Distress, gastric.
Right.
From the food.
Yeah. Or she has acid reflux, so she couldn't eat the oranges without her medication for acid reflux, which she didn't have.
Sure. That's pure citric acid. What else did you happen to you there?
We were in cells that were like, you know, probably 10 by 10 with like 20 of us in there. People, not enough room for everyone to sit. So people weren't able to sit down or sleep. It was really cold in several of the rooms, and people were freezing, huddling together. We weren't provided with blankets or beds, although we were there overnight. There was some people in my cell who ended up staying for 40 hours. I myself was out after 20 hours.
You know, somebody reported that they felt that people who were freelance or interns who didn't have their press pass were given much less consideration than the mainstream press that were arrested and taken in there.
Oh, I think that's certainly true. I mean, the police didn't really care for it when I showed them my card that has my, you know, official status as a staff writer at the Bay Guardian, and like the section I had cut out that says that I'm a staff writer there of the paper, and my ID, which I was told would suffice since I hadn't gotten my press pass yet. They didn't care about that. My editor was calling all night. They didn't care about that. I can only imagine for someone who doesn't have an editor to, you know, advocate on their behalf, they would even less consider their status as press illegitimate.
Thank you, Yael. And ironically enough, we're now going to march in a protest against police brutality in San Francisco. So wish us luck that we don't get sprayed or kettled or sound cannoned out of here. So thank you so much.
Thank
you. Really
you.
appreciate it. That was excellent.